Okay, Ogo.
How's it going?
Ogo is a name that is not common. Where are you from?
I'm from Senegal.
And the sporting culture in Senegal is?
It's soccer all the way. We do basketball, there's that, but it's mostly just all soccer, yeah.
So for you, soccer has been important for a long time?
Yeah, it's been the important sport in my life, definitely the important event in my life, yeah.
Why do you think that is?
My father, mostly. My father was a huge soccer fan. I remember when I was a lot younger, when I was maybe 8 or so, I stumbled into his office, and on one of his shelves, he had a bunch of videos of like tape games. At first, I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I took one, popped it in, and there's like a bunch of games that from like back in the 70s and 60s and stuff like that. And I talked to him about that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, these are just games that I had taped," and that's kind of where my affinity for it came from. Yeah.
Now you obviously live in New York.
Yeah.
How long have you lived here, or just in the States in general?
I moved to the States when I was 11. Yeah, so back in 2000. I lived in New York most of my life. I did 2 years in D.C. And 4 years of college in Atlanta when I was at Emory University. So,
okay. And mom and dad?
They both live in Senegal. I live here in the States with my aunt. But yeah, all my family is in Senegal though.
What kind of impact has your aunt had on you? In terms of sports, is she a soccer fan?
In terms of sports, no. But she certainly has had a very, very big impact on my life. In fact, this whole coming here to Syracuse and sports journalism is very much down to her. When I was in college, I wanted to be a poli-sci major. I wanted to be a lawyer as well. And just one day at a break, right before I went to for my senior year, my aunt sat me down. She asked me, "What do you want to do?" I told her, "Well, I think I want to do some poli-sci, be a lawyer." And she told me, "Ogo, just stop your bullshit. Don't tell me what your mother wants you to do. Just tell me what you want to do." And I sat down like, "Well, I love sports. I love soccer. That's what I want to do."
So you watch soccer how often?
Every weekend, whenever I can. On the weekdays when the Champions League is on. But yeah, I'll wake up at 7 a.m., start watching the first game, and until the last game, if I don't have work in the end. So from I'd say 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. if time allows me to do so.
And what's your favorite team?
AC Milan. It's an Italian soccer team. Yeah, it's my favorite one.
How about player?
Maldini. Maldini is my favorite player. The most recent one is Kaká, who's a Brazilian player. He left, but my favorite Milan player of all time is definitely Maldini, though.
So you seem to know a lot about soccer, and that's expected when you have such a good passion for it. How much playing have you done?
Very little. I've always had a better mind for the game than I had feet for it. When I was in college, actually, I played recreational with my friends, obviously, but I played IM when I was in college, but I was doing more like a player manager type of thing.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. I love the coaching aspect of soccer.
Sure. What about coaching aspect do you like?
I love the game and the tactics of it. What I love most about soccer is that it's a game where you do two things in soccer. You can run with the ball or you can pass the ball. But within these two choices, there are so many intricacies about it. You can run with the ball to try to beat your man. You can run your ball to get into a space. When you have the ball at your feet, you can pass with the inside of your foot, your heel, your toe, the outside of your foot. There's infinite possibilities to do with it, and that's what I love about it. Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears back to your dad. He's in Senegal?
Yeah, he is.
Do you see him ever?
Yeah, I do. Whenever I go back there on the weekends, during the summers.
It's quite ambitious, on the weekends.
Yeah, it's been an expensive trip. Yeah, whenever I'm back there for the summers, and the last couple of years that I've been in Senegal, it was nice to get back with my dad. Every weekend we'd just be there during the season and watch our games together. It was really fantastic.
Does he have a favorite team?
Not right now. He kind of bounces from team to team. Actually, it's kind of weird. He never really latched onto one in particular.
Do you like that? I mean, for some you can go with one team your whole life, and
absolutely.
And others it shifts. Is that okay with you? How do you view that?
It's okay with me, just because my dad, he's started watching soccer for such a long time. He's seen a lot of different eras, and within those eras, he's preferred a team then. Today, he wouldn't. I guess Barcelona would be the one that he prefers the most, because to him, that's the one that that symbolizes a new shift in soccer. The most, like that's usually I think goes about it. But 10 years ago he had a different one. 20 years ago he had a different one.
Okay, let's get to the end goal. I would imagine that work for you would be most enjoyable in the soccer industry. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that definitely would be it.
What kind of job?
I'd love to be a correspondent slash analyst. You know, maybe even a traveling correspondent for like a European team, just to cover not just cover European soccer, but cover African soccer, cover American soccer. With the MLS, I think that there's a lot of very interesting things to do with the MLS today.
Well, then let's go there last. What are your thoughts on the MLS?
It's a league that's when you consider the fact that in '94 they weren't the United States went to the World Cup, it wasn't even a professional team, and you compare it to how the MLS has grown, the players they've attracted. I think MLS doesn't necessarily, or unless American fans don't realize how much of a jump MLS has done, and I think it's a fantastic industry. It's a sport that's grown a lot. There's still obviously more to do. With it, but it's gone leaps and bounds.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.